Panda, yeah. Dropbear and Panda, yeah. Dropbear and Panda, coming at you, Panda. Coming at you like a locomotive on a motherfucking bender. Dropbear and Panda.
Welcome to Season 1.
Episode 18.
That's right, it's 18.
18. We are now legal in Canada. Well, parts of Canada. But you know what else is legal in all of Canada? Pot.
What?
I know.
That happens. Okay, so there was lineups.
Yes.
Like lineups.
Like 2.5 hour lineups outside of the pot shops
to get
yesterday.
Weed. I meant to walk around and check out some pot shops, but I didn't. Because I'm lame that way.
Well, you know, you were also busy doing other stuff, and
we're
going to see plenty of this anyway. It is funny. I think people wanted to maybe be the first or be a part of this historic day yesterday.
Yeah.
But really, you're going to be able to get pot anytime.
Yeah. Well, it's like when Prohibition ended and people are just like in the bar and they're like,
oh, yeah.
And their faces are up on the, you know, whatever now. Old timey posters.
Old timey posters. One day, friends of ours will be on the old timey posters, smoking everything.
They'll be like,
So the legalization of cannabis in Canada happened yesterday.
Yep.
Each province is different, though.
Oh, well, it's not surprising. Do you know anything about this? Because I know nothing.
I was looking around on, again, I'm not a reporter, so I could be. I'm somewhat accurate.
Not a reporter.
Not a reporter. So in Ontario, they just passed the bill like yesterday or the day before. They were dragging their feet.
Oh.
So they just passed it, which is ridiculous because they knew this day was coming like forever ago. You're allowed to smoke a joint wherever you can smoke cigarettes.
Seems reasonable.
It's not like that in Alberta, though.
Oh, no, wait a minute. That is weird because it's not like drinking. It's not like you can go sit and have a drink while you smoke.
Right.
Huh.
Right.
Interesting.
So all the smoking sections outside of buildings or at probably, well, not at your work, right? They don't want you to smoke at work. But, you know, you can, anywhere you can smoke a cigarette, you can smoke a joint.
Wow. Which
is not like that in Alberta. In Alberta, there's like nowhere that you can smoke.
Yeah, except in your home.
Yeah.
And certain parks.
In your home, well, they were talking about one designated area, but then someone kiboshed that. So I don't even know if there's a designated smoking area. There's like 800 people in this tiny little park bench. That would be funny.
Yeah. Well, and I know that the fine is only like $50 or something if you get caught smoking a doobie somewhere where you shouldn't.
Yeah, and that's $50.
Yeah.
There's other fines that could take you up to 14 years in prison.
What?
Like you can't consume edibles.
Why?
You can't buy edibles. You can't sell them anywhere yet. Obviously, you can't smoke and drive.
Yeah, that's just good sense.
Good sense. And just like alcohol, you can't have it within reach of the driver.
Yeah.
So if you're transporting, if you went up and bought pot and you're taking it home with you in a car, put it in the back seat or the trunk. Yeah. Or something. I guess there was a gentleman who was fined like a few $100s for being pulled over and it being in the driver's, like the passenger seat.
Wow. I
mean, these rules are everywhere though. Yeah. I mean, if you're wondering, just look up probably like gov.ca Canada/cannabis WWLMNOP.
Well, yeah, or use some common sense.
Right.
I think is, treat it like alcohol.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to walk down the street drinking? No, you're not. Yeah. Are you allowed to drink and drive? No, you're not. Mm-hmm. If you're in a vehicle, can you reach the bottle? Yes. Don't do that.
Exactly. Right? So you have to treat it like smoking and like drinking. It's a combination of the two.
I'm surprised about the edible thing because that to me would be my preferred.
You cannot. Reason
like
being,
little lollipop or something.
Is my understanding is you can't control the dose in an edible.
Oh.
So even if you're like, okay, I'm going to put like a gram of pot in these brownies. Yeah. If you cut it up, one brownie could have most of it because you didn't mix properly. Oh. It's also easier for kids to get a hold of as well, I think, fair. Too. Yeah. I mean, that comes down to good parenting, right? It's like cats getting into your pot, right. Like you're a shitty cat owner if your cat overdoses and dies or whatever on marijuana. Yeah. Which apparently can happen with pets. Huh. So good to know.
Pot smokers, everybody in Canada that has pets and pot, don't get your animals high.
Yeah, be very careful with that. Cats might think it's, catnip.
Yeah, and they're tripping balls before you know it. Mm-hmm. You could land on your face.
Can land on your face. Now, Winnipeg, a gentleman was arrested for smoking and driving already. Like, first day, within hours.
Way to go, guy.
Way to go, Winnipeg.
Yeah. We can't blame it all on Winnipeg. Let's blame it on that guy. What's his name?
Well, there were jokes. Let me just say there were jokes where they were like, of course it was Winnipeg. I think I've been to Winnipeg for like a day, and we went to like an art museum, and it was lovely. So I don't know.
You know what the thing is, though? The guy's probably done this his entire life. Like this is not the very first time that he's smoked and driven a vehicle. I can guarantee you that that's the case. This guy every single day does it on the way to work.
Or every Friday or whatever.
Yeah.
Or on the way home from work.
Yeah. The cops are now on the lookout for it.
Well, that's just it. Like, I was telling my friend Elisa today, I'm like, of all the days to be smoking and driving, if you do it all the time, because Elisa said the same thing. She's like, you probably did that all the time before. Yesterday was not the day to do it. Or the next week or two, right? So now, I'm not condoning smoking and driving at all, but it's just...
yeah.
Now, the most people picking up pot in Canada, Newfoundland.
Not surprising.
Yeah, apparently it's Newfoundland.
Oh. That's awesome.
For a variety of reasons, I'm sure.
Go Newfs.
Yeah, and I think it's cheapest in Quebec. I heard it was cheapest in Quebec.
Oh. I'm curious what the prices are like.
It's not cheap.
Really?
In Canada, it's $15
a gram.
I'm gonna say yes.
Oh.
Grams and ounces, because I don't smoke, so I have no idea what it looks like. But
yeah, so the thing that I know about this is that the medical side, which I'm assuming is probably the same price scale, but medical is about $10 a gram.
Yeah,
and that's about what you'd spend. Like with a street dealer. And the whole point behind, legalization is to take the money away from the organized crime.
That is true. However, alcohol beverages in Alberta way higher than other places. Cigarettes, you buy a pack of cigarettes at the Mac store or the 7-Eleven, they're what, $15 a pack? $15, $20 a pack now. If you go to a reservation, they're like $2 a pack, right? So I'm not surprised that the government is saying, we're going to let it be legal. There's all these rules, safety rules and health rules and whatever, because it is a substance like alcohol that we have to take care of as well. But because we're making it legal, there are some catches. One of them being it's going to be fairly pricey, because honestly, like, we could get rid of our debt so quickly if we just let it run. But
no, it would mean bloat in government is what would happen. They wouldn't pay down shit. They would just make more government.
Make more government money. Make more government. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But people are surprised. Some people on Facebook seem to be surprised about this. And I was like, I'm not surprised at all.
Well, it's syntax, right? Like,
So the problem with this...
syntax error for all of my nerdy friends.
I'm not a nerd. I don't really get the stuff. But I lost my train of thought. But a lot of people are saying that they're not going to go to the dispensaries or the shops because they'll get it cheaper illegally still.
Well, and there's the point. The crux of the matter is, yes, it's legal, great. You can go to a store and buy some, and if it stays roughly on par with what you can buy on the street. I mean, here's the other thing, and I'm not saying that I'm like I know drug culture, but I know something about drug culture, and that people that have had dealers for the last 30 years are going to continue to use those people.
Yeah. Or
they've grown their own in the basement for as long as they can remember, and that's not going to change.
I have this vision of like old dealers going to pot dispensary shops and handing in their resume, and they're like, what's your job experience? Well.
So what's funny though is that you think that's weird, but it's not, because I saw an ad on a bus stop. So it's something like, you know, are you a weed ninja? You know, put in your resume here.
Quote unquote ninja.
or whatever, or a weed wizard or something like that.
Oh,
so
that's hilarious.
So these shops are now looking for, you know, these people who have been in the drug industry, you know, or have been smoking forever.
Yeah.
And their resume is now, yeah, dude, totally. I can like Maui Wowie. Yeah, I can tell Maui Wowie from Purple Kush. Totally.
See, I don't even know what those names are amazing.
And, you know, like, do you prefer indica or do you prefer sativa? Oh, yeah, man, I'm totally like a blend guy. All right, come and talk with us because, you know, we got a job for you.
Yeah, it's so funny. So a friend of mine went to a shop yesterday, and she and her boyfriend and a couple friends went.
Oh, fun.
And she said it was quite amazing. So they were in line, and she said most of the people in line, I think she was 266th, because they said, this is a customer today.
Holy fuck.
And most of the people were over the age of 30, if not over the age of 40. Yeah. She said a lot of the 20-year-olds seem to stay at home or were at work or whatever. Yeah. Or they're keeping their stash and they'll just go to the dispensaries next week when they run out. She said there was a woman there who must have been in her 80s with a walker.
Nice.
You know, you had the people who obviously lived through the, you know, the 60s. They had the scruffy beard and the little ponytail dudes. Right, and she said it was very clean. Yeah. She said it was kind of like going to TELUS or the Apple store where you had... Everything was very clean and very sparse, but you had employees going around with little tablets.
Oh, no shit.
Trying to figure stuff out. And when they got their stuff, they were in little jars, like what a face cream jar would look like, or a medical like pill jar or something like that. And she said it was like pretty freaking awesome. Yeah. As a matter of fact. So
have you seen the jars that my medical stuff comes in?
Yeah.
Like they're high end. Like it is some cool shit, man.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah.
So she was quite pleased, and she said it was a great experience and everybody was really happy and woo.
Yeah.
Now you can't smoke anywhere in Calgary, but that didn't stop people from having a pot is legal party like downtown or somewhere. They were like whooping it up and smoking their joints, and I think the police were like, what are we gonna
write tickets? Call bylaw.
Yeah,
it's no longer a cop problem. Yeah. It's a bylaw problem. Yeah.
So
isn't that something?
Well, cops can still stop you. I mean,
sure they can, but what I mean is that, you know, it's no longer like indictable.
Yeah, right. And yet on 17th Avenue, when you have like, you know, 300 drinkers celebrating. You know, there's going to be assaults. There's going to be people peeing on other people's cars and lawns and
Red Mile.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, right? Like, and Red Mile, when the Flames went to the Stanley Cup final like a few years ago, was really dangerous. I went down there a couple times just to see what it was about, and my husband at the time, after a few games, he was like, "Don't go down there." Yeah, he's like, "You're not allowed." Yeah. He didn't really no he didn't it wasn't in the you're not allowed because I'm a dick. It was shit's going on down there now and females should not go. Yeah. That was his point. And I was like, cool, not going.
I think it was the first night, me and my kids ended up down there. Completely not knowing what was happening. We were just in the area.
Yeah.
And it turned into this thing. That's what happened. It was like this giant party that just happened out of nowhere. So there's no controls. There was no, like, it was spontaneous. And then, of course, during the run, you know, it got a little bit more organized and stuff. But
I know that my one of my sisters was down there, and someone yelled at her to take off her shirt, and she said no, and he said, "Take off your fucking shirt, bitch."
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what it turned into. So after that, I was like, it has nothing to do with the Flames, but not a fan of that kind of mentality.
My opinion is this, that if a woman wants to flash her breasts in public,
have at her.
Yeah, do it. And I honestly think that we should just not even be, it shouldn't even be a thing, that we should be able to see people walking shirts. I see dudes with bigger breasts than a lot of women walking around without shirts on. But, you know.
No touching.
Right. So that's it. Don't be a douchebag. Don't be an asshole. Don't be like a predator. Yeah. If, you know, just because she showed her tits doesn't mean they're your tits now.
Now the one bonus, and I shouldn't say bonus because assault is never good. There was a lot of problems, but in Vancouver, when Vancouver went all the way, They were setting fire to cars. I think they did the same thing
bridge.
in Edmonton too. Like we only assault people. We don't assault and set shit on fire in Calgary.
We don't murder.
That should be like on the side of our...
Oh, instead of City of Champions, we don't murder.
Often.
Oh.
At sporting events. This podcast has gotten a little weird.
Yeah. Well, it's been a bit of a weird week.
Why?
Well, no reason in particular. Although I'm going to give a plug to. I released a podcast, my other podcast this week on Rebel.
What?
Yep. And it was interviewing the guys from RWA. That's Range Warrior Accessories. And I got a rifle today. And I got to go shoot it, and it was awesome.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm super excited. It was like way cool.
Yeah, you had like gunpowder or something smudged all over your face when you got home.
No, was that was?
You're not supposed to make out with your gun, Mike. You're just supposed to shoot it.
No, I washed my hands and my face after I shot, so it must have been from the motorcycle ride back. It was, oh my God, traffic at 4 o'clock.
Did you get hit by like a...
Probably.
Okay.
Don't even know.
All right.
I have no recollection of... Anyway, so we went and put like 100 rounds through this thing to burn in the new gun and stuff. It just got built today. I'm number 4.
Number 4 of...
Like, so they're numbered, right? Because they're firearms. And I've got number 4.
Oh, so 3 other people also have one.
Yeah, like the owners of the company.
Yeah.
And then me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I have a
Super
thing
cool.
about guns.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people do.
Yeah. They're amazing machinery. I remember I took a history of warfare course, well, many of those in university, and I remember one of them was talking about how to build a gun, basically. I mean, like, you know, like an old school one. But they're amazing pieces of machinery, but they are built to kill things.
Yep.
Which I do appreciate when you're like, I'm going to buy a gun. You don't ask me, but you're like, this is what's going on. This is what's going to happen.
Right.
And I'm like, cool.
But it's not about killing things. It's about putting holes in paper.
Well, that's you.
Yeah, right.
But gun companies don't make guns and are like, hey, you know what? This would be great for people to put holes in paper in. If that was the case, then you get a potato gun or a BB gun.
Or the guys at Stanley Office Supplies are just like, I got a hole punch.
Exactly.
I could do 3 holes at the same time.
Exactly. And the first time I went to shoot a gun was, I went to the shooting edge, and it was, oh God, like early 20s, I think.
Oh.
And we went all out. We did, you know, the AK-47 and some kind of M16. Like, my shoulder was bruised the next day. Oh. But it wasn't until, like, I knew you know, guns are dangerous. They're dangerous.
Sure.
They're super dangerous.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize, I don't think your brain realizes how dangerous they are until one gets shot, especially inside, because I remember the first time, it might have been the instructor who ever shot it, and I don't remember which gun it was, but the clothes shook on my body, and I actually started to panic a little bit because as a human, you still have the fight or flight response. And I've only had that 2 or 3 times in my life, and that was one of them. And for a second there, I thought I was going to have to leave. Yeah.
So today, I've got a membership at the gun range, right? And I go shooting, not often, but I go. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm fairly used to it. But we're sitting there in the rifle bay. I haven't been in a couple months. And, you know, I've got this new rifle that I'm setting up, and I'm trying to learn, because I'm not a rifle guy. I'm a handgun guy.
Handguns also scare me. I'll tell you why in a bit.
Okay. Anyway, so there's another guy in the bay. So I want to say there's 4 lanes. And there's a guy at the other side. And out of nowhere, and I jumped. And the guys that I'm with, the Range Warrior guys, are just laughing at me.
And you've got the big ear.
You got the big ear protection on.
Yeah.
And so this guy was, you know, throwing rounds down range, and every time, like, I couldn't get used to it. I just kept jerking. It's like, it wasn't until I actually got myself situated and shooting that it normalized for me.
Right.
But
interesting.
Yeah, but so after I was fine.
Yeah.
But I certainly have got that as well. And the same thing with handguns. When I used to go shooting a lot, I'd go and shoot a shotgun first.
Those blew me off my feet the first time.
And that's why I did
hill.
it. Is I'd go and get the big boom out of the way, and then when I went and shot 9mm, like even 45, it's like, yeah, it's pew pew. Yeah.
Never think a 9mm is just pew pew, guys. Seriously. The reason why handguns scare me is because you could put them in your jeans pocket. They're so easy to just put away somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's true.
Fun though.
Yeah, super fun. And you went shooting with me.
Yeah, I know.
We did the pew-pew.
And that's the first time I had shot a handgun before. Yeah. All the other times were my ex-husband collected guns, so he had like SKSs and a couple shotguns and.
I think you really like this rifle. It's a AR-180B.
Is it black and gray and silver?
It's black. Dope.
Nice.
Anyway, super fun way to spend the afternoon, and work is hard.
Shut the fuck up.
Work is so hard.
You know what I did today? Got yelled at by people.
Oh.
Not really. I didn't get really yelled at that much. It was a pretty good day, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Wasn't go out and just shoot the shit. Get it? I'll see myself out.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that happened, and I had another guest in earlier for the Rebel podcast, which was super fun. So I had a pretty good week, actually.
Yeah, your work day is a lot different than mine.
Yeah, my work day is awesome.
I have some good moments.
Sweet. Our back alley is getting paved tomorrow.
Oh, yay.
I'm super excited.
Construction follows us everywhere, I think. I think that's what people should take away from this.
Yeah.
They leveled our back alley, I think the week before we moved in. And because, listeners, if you listen to the last couple episodes, it's been snowing in Calgary.
And now it's plus 22.
Yeah, record dumps of snow, and now it's plus 22, anywhere from like 16 to 22 degrees this week because it's Calgary, and Calgary's fucked. So now they're finishing the paving, so I will have a garage to park in soon.
What?
But the problem is because it's been so long, it's been like almost a month, everybody on this side of the street has to park on the street. I have had to park at the other end of the road.
Aww.
I've had to go up. No, but I've had to go up and down looking for parking. When the garbage people come in, there's even fewer parking spaces.
I've run out of room in our recycling bin because I can't get the recycling bin to the front of the house because of our gas meter and the next door neighbor's fence.
What?
So they're going to have a lot of recycling.
But it's good that we recycle.
Yep.
So they should be happy.
And our compost thing is full, which is super cool. The green bin.
Composting confuses me, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be, back in the day, which could have been like 5 years ago. I don't even know. I'm dating myself. Composting was like vegetables, fruit, as long as there was no butter on it or salt. Basically, like if you made carrots and cut off the green parts, that went into compost. Yeah. Now it's like you can throw meat in there, and it's weird. That's not... Wow.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that can be composted. And honestly, I don't know either, except that they say that the green bin, like when you put stuff in there, that it creates, it basically creates its own energy while composting. So it brings the heat up to a certain level where it's not dangerous anymore, where you're not going to end up with, disease.
I'm pretty sure my sister has a little compost in the back, or at least she did before we got the green bins, and she would put little worms in it. You could buy worms for her compost bin.
Yeah, we had that in Silver Springs. My parents used to do that, and they were very religious about composting, and so it was quite a big bin. And then they would take the dirt, because it turns into really great soil at the bottom, and every year they'd dig out like a foot of the compost and spread it in their garden.
But it stunk so bad. The flies.
What are you gonna do? Buy worms.
Trying to save the world is stinky.
It's so stinky. Oh my god.
That's the quote of the day.
Nice. What else do you have for news, if anything?
I don't really have news. We could discuss how shitty Ticketmaster is.
Oh yeah,
they got busted.
Good. Fuck, I hate Ticketmaster.
Yeah. Did you read the article I sent you?
No, I was busy shooting stuff.
Of course you were. So Ticketmaster got caught by the CBC weeks ago, basically admitting or telling their undercover CBC reporter that they are a part of the scalping culture and they let scalpers buy up all their tickets. They are aware and they are a part of it, so then they can make more money later. So basically,
how do they make more? How does Ticketmaster make more money later?
Gosh.
Or are they part of the re-ticketing?
In leaked emails obtained by CBC, several prominent managers demanded answers from Ticketmaster president Jared Smith. They were angry over the revelations the box office giant is recruiting scalpers to help boost profits from the resale of large volumes of sports and concert tickets. So when you try to buy tickets to Tool or Ministry or Radiohead or Flames Stanley Cup run, they sell out in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Yeah. And while you're still trying to buy tickets at Ticketmaster,
they're already on StubHub or whatever.
StubHub or something else for more money.
Yeah.
But if you scalp on the internet, it's like it's legal. If you do it in front of a concert venue that night, you can get arrested and go to prison. Yeah. Ticketmaster is a part of that.
So what's their gain? Like, what do they benefit? Or do they get a kickback?
I think the scalpers give them they get a kickback.
StubHub?
So they get the money from the scalpers buying the tickets up, and then they get another percentage when StubHub sells to us lame people.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and so they were busted. It was emails flew on the very day CBC News and the Toronto Star released hidden camera footage of Ticketmaster staff at a scalpers convention at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas back in July.
Oh my God. Scalpers have conventions?
Apparently. Well, it's Vegas. Of course they do. One salesman, unaware he was speaking with an undercover reporter, admitted that staff turn a blind eye to scalpers who use hundreds of fake identities and accounts to exceed Ticketmaster's own ticket buying limits.
Wow.
So
I guess
now
they don't care as long as they're selling tickets.
Yeah. So now, management from it says Mumford and Sons, Mark Knopfler, Radiohead, and the Pixies are blasting Ticketmaster over its secretive partnership with scalpers. So they're demanding answers. The boss of Ticketmaster is like, no comment, and it's ridiculous. So Pearl Jam was right. 25 years ago.
Yeah, that's an evil, insidious business.
I get so mad.
Yeah. Well, the only way to combat that is to not buy from scalpers, people.
And then you just don't ever go to a show. Like if I can't get it from Ticketmaster, I'm just like, oh, they're sold out. Because
so the anniversary of Gord Downey's death was yesterday.
When pot was legal. Coincidence? What?
But we had looked into getting tickets to the Tragically Hip show, the last one, as it came across Canada.
Yeah, they did a big Canada tour.
And the ticket prices were, there's no fucking way you could get in to see that concert.
No, and they were sold out in record time.
Yeah. So, I think it does such a disservice to the artists, because really the artist puts on the show to connect with their fans, not to... Because the artist doesn't get any of that money. Although I have heard that some bands have actually partnered with scalpers to try and recoup some of their money. Ugh. Right? So it's like this big, huge, honestly, it's economics, law of supply and demand. But it happens in this, little tiny microcosm.
God, it's disgusting. Yeah. And Ticketmaster is basically it, right? So I'm pretty sure, and I don't think I'm wrong, but again, I'm not a reporter.
Not a reporter.
9 Inch Nails is doing a tour right now. Yeah. And they have said, and this was, I think, in the summer, they said that when their tickets are released, and this has happened already because they started off in the States, of course, and we'll see how the tour goes, their tickets will not be available online. So you will actually have to get tickets.
I remember
so
this.
like the olden days
You gotta
where
line
line up for
camp.
600 hours and get tickets that way, which does upset people because people are also used to, I'm at work. I'm not going to book off a day of work to go get 9 Inch Nails tickets.
And I guess you don't want 9 Inch Nails tickets.
Maybe they can't get the day off of work. You know, it's there's a whole lot of stuff. And I remember having to do that. You could either call and you can't get through on the phone. You'd be on the phone and then you'd have another person on the phone and you'd have a person downtown.
Yeah.
But how many Ticketmaster booths are there in Calgary now?
Oh, yeah. Well, it used to be...
Like 2?
It used to be you'd go to the Bay. Like, because I grew up in the Northwest. So when tickets came on sale, you'd rush over to the Bay.
Yeah.
And that's where you'd buy your tickets.
Yeah.
And
there'd be a few bays in town, right?
Yep.
But so I remember there used to be one, not a bay, but a place to buy tickets up in Bennington. There was numerous places you could get tickets. Now in Calgary,
Megatunes was another one on 17th.
yeah,
You could
but
get.
where now?
Yeah, don't know.
University, maybe, possibly.
If more artists decide to go that way, then we'd see more of those little shops pop up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's pop-up ticket shop. Pop-up ticket shop.
Whoa. My brain just exploded a little bit. That was great. I like that one. That was good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's keep her. How are you going to save the world this week?
Tell people not to fucking smoke and drive and look at rules before you do stupid shit, you idiots. It's legal, but don't ruin it for everybody.
Yeah. Like alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Alcohol's still legal. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, just pay attention to stuff. If you're going to legally imbibe, make sure you follow the rules because you can get yourself in some deep shit if you don't.
Yeah. Cool.
That's me. How about you?
I am not going to buy tickets from scalpers. Ever.
Did you ever before?
No.
So you're just going to continue being awesome.
Yep.
Aww.
You're welcome, world.
Cool.
Yeah, you just let Radiohead know how cool I am.
Yeah, I'm sure they give a shit.
And you drop Trent a note saying I will wait in line for his tickets.
Oh, yeah, I missed the last show they were here. But I saw the previous 9 Inch Nails show in Calgary and it was so good.
Pretty good. Shocking how freaking talented those people are.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
talent. Gross. Ugh. And I'm Panda.
I'm Dropbear.
And this has been
Episode 18.
Dropbear and Panda.
Season 1. Oh, wait. Dropbear and Panda.
Save the world.
Okay, well, we'll go back and do that again. Hold on. Okay, back to ones. This has been
Dropbear and Panda.
Save the World.
Dropbear and Panda, yeah. Dropbear and Panda, yeah. Dropbear and Panda, coming at you, Panda. Coming at you like a locomotive on a motherfucking bender. Yeah, tell my culture, now my chap, follow me. Yeah, with Michael Doggies, yeah, you be checking on the flow, yeah. Checking flow, choose quick, you can't pick my medical ranges, angles, tangles. You get tangled, twisted side effects, child should be. Can't compete with the owls that devour. Yeah, with the owls that devour, yeah. Yes, Dropbear and Panda, coming at your render. Dropbear and Panda, coming at your render. Dropbear and Panda, coming at your render. It's like a locomotive filled with autonomous chopper. Dropbear and Panda, coming at your render. It's like a locomotive filled with autonomous chopper. Dropbear and